There it is, Adelita.
It is. Andres, how are you?
Well,
Polls are
good evening.
closed.
Happy election night. We're in different places. We've spent so much time together over the last couple of months, and it's like I want to just give you a big hug. And I know that there are a lot of viewers that are watching right now too that want to do the same thing.
Yeah, I do too. And I wish we were all together, but I'm so glad that we can do this and actually have a little bit of a conversation and talk about this amazing race and what it's been like for both of us.
Well, it's been tough for sure, Adelita, and it has been an absolute privilege to be able to do this. And for those of you watching at home, welcome to tonight's election night party. I'm Andres Cano here with my friend and Pima County Supervisor candidate, Adelita Grijalva. This is all new to us, this pandemic world where we're streaming, and normally there's a party that we have that's live in person, and instead we're doing this from the privacy of our homes and our campaign headquarters. And Adelita, it's so weird talking to a computer screen, but I see that there are over 130 people joining us right now.
Oh, that's so great. And thank you, and thank you all for joining us. I mean, it really is. Usually a Grijalva party is here at the headquarters with lots of us here, lots of food and drink and music and fun. And here we are looking at a computer screen, and I feel a little bit like we're like Oscar hosts, you know,
yeah.
like I just have a little bit of that kind of feel.
One can only dream, you know. So thank you so much to everybody for watching. I think what's important for us to do in beginning this conversation with you over the next hour, this live stream, is remembering why Adelita is here, why I'm here, and that's on the backs of an incredible public servant, a champion who was very close to Adelita and I. And of course, we're speaking none other than about Supervisor Richard Elias, who we lost in March very unexpectedly, and he was a father figure for me, certainly a friend and a mentor to so many of us. And we have a special dedication that we'd like to offer to Richard, to his family, Emily and Luce, as we begin tonight's election festivity. And we're going to be sharing a video that was distributed by Pima County. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
What we have is the place that we all share. And that's an important issue for all of us to remember, because we share peaceably, we share in a friendly way now. That hasn't always been true either, but it's an important facet of how we've come together as a community, how we continue to grow as a community, and how we respect the footprints of others that have come before us.
Have some fun, but also think about our past, think about our heritage, think of how people used to live here in Tucson. When you look out there in the desert, think about what a hardship it was and all the beautiful things that our families and people have brought us. Bienvenidos a todos, muchísimas gracias. We love having our families here. We love seeing you all together. Have a great time. Enjoy the sun, enjoy the day. Let's think about the past too.
And so there's a lot of footprints out there. There's a lot of footprints to follow. There's a lot of thoughts that have gone on along that trail. There's a lot of messages of great importance about family, about tradition, about how Native people lived here, and the thoughts that the Native people thought. Remember that we gathered this morning. Remember that we shared some caring about them and their lives and our future and the children who will come. And that this morning we talked about respect being a very important part of that whole discussion.
Have a great time, guys. Enjoy.
And that was for Richard.
That was to Richard.
He's just, he had so much energy, and he would drive me crazy with his Bob Dylan songs, with the Grateful Dead, and it's just like we spent hours together, right? And today I took a drive to San Javier Mission, which is where we go every election day for the last 5 cycles, and it was bittersweet to be here. But gosh, I mean, what's your favorite Richard memory?
We have so many. So in my family, actually, my husband Sol met Richard before I did. So he was 14 years old when he met Richard. And I met Richard and Sol in the first campaign for this position. And so he has been a part of my family's life for a really long time. I remember his laughing, and he would be sitting outside just admiring, like, look at all these people coming. He was always really happy to see everybody. And what we try to do in this headquarters is really make sure that Richard is a part of this too. So his signs are up, pictures are up, caricatures. Like, I think that we really tried to make sure that because he was a part of all of this, to make sure that he was here with us.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely beautifully said. And what a tribute to begin tonight's programming with the memory of Richard. And Adelita, a little birdie told me you're running for the District 5 position.
I am running for the District 5 position, and really it was because of Emily and Luz's support and encouragement that I even ventured into this. I know, Andres, you and I talked very shortly after, and it wasn't a comfortable feeling to start even thinking about it, but I think Emily and Luz first and foremost realized the risk of losing the seat, and that we had a very short window of time to jump in and get the petition signatures needed to get on the ballot. A lot of people said that it couldn't be done at all, and we were able to gather almost 1,600 signatures in 6 days with the support of everybody. Everybody had to get together and work together to want to get it done, and that is what happened. And I'm so privileged and honored to be able to have been a part of all of this.
Absolutely.
So I really would like to take a moment and just thank all of the volunteers that helped us get here. We made 43,000 phone calls in the last month, knocked on thousands and thousands of doors. We're in every precinct in District 5, and it really had to do with the partnerships that we built with the candidates that we're going to be talking about here in a little bit, and with you, with my dad, Raul Grijalva, who, by the way, is doing well. Thank you all for the well wishes. He is still asymptomatic, just kind of waiting out the quarantine, and to make sure that he's not, he can't, give anything to anybody else. But thank you so much for the well wishes. It really has been very heartfelt and appreciated. I'm getting a lot of congratulations and how's your dad? So my dad is doing well, thank you. I would also like to say huge thanks to my family, Sol and the kids. As soon as this campaign started is when we went into quarantine. So The kids were home and starting homeschool, and my husband was able to navigate that really well, and I'm really proud of him and the kids for being able to do that, for my mom stepping in, and my sisters and my best friends and everyone that's just been super encouraging. The donors and volunteers that came and knocked on doors, and in a pandemic, we tried to create the safest environment, and I realized that walking out of your house is a risk, so I want to say a huge thank you to them. I also want to thank Elvira Din and Glenn Miller and Ruben Reyes and Manuel Riz just for all of your help, and Andres for everything that we all did together. You were just such a ball of energy, and I really appreciate it. And I don't think that we could be doing this without the support and love of all of you. And I'm just so very appreciative, and thank you very much. And it's just the beginning of what we have to do. But I think what we've seen in the turnout that happened in this primary, which has been record breaking, that people want change, and it motivated the candidates that were running, whether you were in favor of them or hoping, in favor of their opponent. They motivated a community to get out and vote. So I'm really proud of Southern Arizona, really proud to be a member of this community, and I want to just thank everybody. Thank you.
Well, and your leadership, Adelita, is absolutely demonstrated over your nearly 20 years on the TUSD school board. And look, I remember when we started this campaign together in the middle of the beginning of the pandemic, and there was this little bottle of hand sanitizer. This is like when everybody was like totally hoarding everything, right? And there was like this only little bottle of hand sanitizer, and I brought my little bottle, hand sanitizer bottle, and it was like going and getting water from a well out in the middle of nowhere because it's such a precious resource. But thank you for all of those thank yous, and to all of you watching at home. We have about 150,000, or 150,000, I wish, 150 people watching right now. And Adelita, you know, for me, running for the State House for re-election, I did this about 3 years ago and announced a new chapter in my public service to give back to the community that raised me. I was raised by a single mom and was the first person in my family to graduate from college. And I think that was the foundation for me wanting to ensure that I do everything possible, not only to persevere, but also to help others that are like me, who look like me, who think like me, to be able to get ahead in this life. And that's why I ran for the State House in 2018. We won, and we're doing it all over again because our work is just beginning at the state capitol. We have a tremendously underfunded education system. We have a criminal justice system that needs to be reformed. We have people who need our help right now, Adelita, throughout this pandemic, from unemployment protection to eviction, foreclosure prevention, all of the issues, healthcare, protecting our environment. Those are the reasons why we are in this race again. And I want to start off by thanking my mom, who always taught me to never give up and who's been there with me since the very beginning throughout this journey. And ultimately, to all of our volunteers, the folks that you've already mentioned, Adelita, and to the people who donated time after time after time to be able to get us to where we are at today, which is here on election night with 150 guests joining us in this virtual election night party. There are many thank yous that I have to give, but we have to move on with the program because we have a jam-packed agenda. And I don't know about you, but we have a really incredible mayor of Tucson joining us in tonight's conversation.
Ew.
And
Hi, comadre. Hi, comadre. Hi, Ruben.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Ruben is here with me.
Ruben was instrumental in so much of the campaign, so he should be here with you for sure.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you, Madam Mayor.
I'm so happy to see you and am so sad that we cannot be together celebrating this night as we do every election night, which seems like it's every year.
Yeah, every year.
I'm so proud of you, Adelita, comadre, and Andres, who I've known, I think, since he was 5 or 6 years old. And Adelita, you and I have known each other for at least 24 years. We were also 5 or 6 years old.
It's true. When we were younger, much younger.
I just want to congratulate you two for running really decent, issue-centered campaigns, making sure that the people know the issues that you care about and what you're fighting for. I want to thank you for stepping up and running for public office. It's never easy, but it is so rich and satisfying, making a difference in the lives of people and protecting our environment and fighting for public education funding, which you two have been doing for a very long time. And so I just want to congratulate you and congratulate Gabby Casares-Kelly and Laura Conover and all of the other candidates that have been part of this amazing team. So I don't know if you want to say something, my husband and advisor.
First lead.
And first vato of Tucson.
I love the first vato.
Yeah, well, I was just reminiscing a little while ago, and when obviously your father was already a veteran of local politics when I first got involved in 1988 in his first campaign for Board of Supervisors when we had that headquarters on 4th Avenue when it wasn't that trendy. And to me, it was a big eye opener because I had only been in Tucson for a year and a half. But I got to know all of you, got to know your family, Adelita, wonderful family that kind of, took me in, kind of like, the other child that you never wanted, and politically speaking, and then great friendship, Glenn, the mastermind. Yeah, and
He's
it's
moaning
been one
over here.
wild ride up until this one. But I want to throw that comparison out because of this particular campaign of how difficult it is to reach out to voters because of the pandemic and because of all the precautions you took. And I just want to commend you guys for the phenomenal job that you did in protecting your volunteers, and that needs to be commended.
Well, thank you so much to the first dude and to the mayor. We are so grateful to have you here and to have had you with us along this process, phone banking, putting up signs. It's a long history that we have together, and not many folks know this, but I was at your wedding and what year was that?
That was back in 2003, and you must have been like 7 or 8 years old. I've known your mom for a long time, your tias, your cousins, and so it really is about family. And I remember that Congressman Grijalva, who has been a friend and mentor of mine, also took me in as a really young volunteer and showed me the ropes in a very hands-off approach. I would say Congressman Grijalva really has let me grow, and he coined the phrase for our campaigns that it's all about the love.
Yeah.
It's all about the love, and that remains true to this day when we see so much hate and division in our country. We have candidates like you, Adelita, and Andres, that have the biggest hearts that I know. And so I'm really proud of you. I'm really happy for you. I know this night is going to turn out to be a celebration of your re-election, Andres, and your election, Adelita, to the Pima County Board of Supervisors. I'm so proud of you, comadre. You are going to be the first Latina ever elected to the Pima County Board of Supervisors. And I'm so happy that I'm here to see the day. And so congratulations, y'all. We love you. Wish we were together, celebrating this beautiful night.
Thank you. Well, it's about 7:48, folks, and we want to let you know that we have more special guests joining us. We want to thank the mayor and Ruben Reyes for joining us in tonight's
Gracias.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Love you too. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
So now we're going to hear from a warrior in this campaign, somebody who has literally been out in the summer heat, 110-degree weather, putting criminal justice reform at the top of her list to be able to get us moving forward here at Pima County. And I'm talking about Laura Conover, who is an incredible Democratic candidate tonight that we've had the honor of campaigning with over these past couple of months. We asked Laura to put together a quick video, and she submitted this, and we're about to watch it. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. It's Laura Conover. I am recording this on Monday night, election eve, and I've just come in from a beautiful monsoon rain, putting up signs, and I'm exhausted. And the only thing I want to do in the world is to thank you. I want to thank my incredible team, Jack O'Sullivan, Kat Stratford, Trace Gallagher, Dax Franklin Hicks, Alex Kack, Jeremy Zarzicki. There are so many to thank. But that's the core team, along with the finest campaign chair there ever could have been, Nina Tresoff. I want to thank all of you who went out into the sweltering desert heat for zero contact lip drops, and who put in hours of phone banking, but instead of in a party atmosphere, completely alone during the pandemic. I want to thank all of you. It's been the strangest election season there ever was. And we all are so grateful and thankful. We got this. Our community is better off because of your efforts. We thank you so much. Good night and good luck, and God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Laura. It was nice to hear from her and see her here practically every weekend working with us. The next person that I just want to do a short little intro to before we show her video is Gabriela Casares Kelly. What I love about her and her campaign is that she brought together people that were disenfranchised before. We saw so many first-time volunteers coming to the headquarters who were like, I just want to volunteer for all of you, but I really have to carry Gabby's information. And I'm like, that's so great. And I love her slogan that says Indigenous woman coming through, because she didn't ask for permission to do anything that she's doing. She is just dedicated to increasing the capacity of all of our community that really has been underserved for so very long, really wanting to expand services, the ideas that she has about pushing through same-day voter registration. It's just been such a privilege and an honor for me to be able to get to know her better. And here's a little, here's Gabby in her own words.
Skuktash. Anya Nepchugi Gabriela Casares Kelly. Bisan mo ochkup amjan. Good day. My name is Gabriela Casares Kelly. I'm from the communities of Bisan Mo'o and Kupk, which are located on the Tohono Nation, right here in beautiful Pima County. I have had the pleasure of running for Pima County Recorder, an office that oversees voter registration, early voting, and document recording for the county. I first became interested in this office simply because I wanted to help get folks registered in my own community. I then identified systemic barriers that keep people from registering to vote and participating in our most fundamental of rights. What I've learned from this campaign is that no one can be successful by themselves. No one can come out of the thin air and champion the people if they haven't put in the community work. I've also learned that candidates of color will also be asked sometimes to compromise who they are and what their values are. But if we stay true to ourselves and we stay true to our communities will stand with us. I've learned that now is the time, and we belong everywhere decisions are being made. There should be nothing for us without us. Throughout this campaign, I have had two goals. The first goal is to be the next Pima County Recorder, to be the first Native American to hold an elected Pima County office. And the second goal has been to change the conversation and stretch the imagination of what we can expect from the Recorder's office. I'd like to thank every single person who gathered signatures for us, dropped literature, made phone calls, text messages, or even just shared our social media posts. In whatever ways that you contributed, both big and small, it was seen and we appreciate it so much. We are so grateful. To the more than 1,000 individual people who made monetary donations to my campaign, we cherished every single dollar. And thank you for investing in a better Pima County. We could not do this work without you. I'd also like to thank the more than 30 individuals and organizations who stood behind me and provided their endorsements. Congress members Raul Grijalva and Deb Haaland, Chairman of the Thanatham Nation Ned Norris Jr., Senator Victoria Steele, State Representatives Charlene Fernandez and Andres Cano, Mayor Romero, Council members Santa Cruz and Lee, TUSD board members Crystal Ann Foster and Adelita Grijalva, the entire Barbecue Unified School District Governing Board, Lucha, Las Adelitas, Planned Parenthood, CWA Arizona, Pima Area Labor Federation, and that's just to name a few. I'd also like to thank my children, Siban and Anaktara, for their help stuffing endless envelopes, feeding and watering me, and forgoing so much mom time over the past 8 months. I'd also like to thank Team Gabriela, Maria, Victoria, April, Trevon, Vivian, Marion, Lizzie, Rebecca, and my husband Ryan. Thank you for all the work that you have done to amplify the simple message that we can make voter registration and early voting easier, faster, and more accessible for everyone in Pima County. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in each other. And thank you for helping an Indigenous woman come through. Thank you so much.
Oh, Gabby's great. And my favorite is when she is in that video in front of the nation's capital with her scooter. It's just super funny.
Great moment. It really is.
Coming up next, we are going to be hearing from an incredible state house candidate in Legislative District 10, Stephanie Stahl Hamilton. We'll be right back.
I am running for office because I believe that Arizona can do a much better job of investing our resources for a more sustainable future. For the better part of 17 years, it has been a struggle for my family to make ends meet. And I know my family is not alone. And it wasn't until I started doing advocacy work at the state legislature that I realized how much time and energy I was spending pushing against bad policies. And so I decided that I want a seat at that policy making table so that I can spend my time and energy crafting policies that will benefit us all. You know, this campaign has been a gift. I have been amazed at the ways in which people are so willing to share their thoughts, their concerns, their struggles, their joys, the things that keep them up at night. And I have come to realize that people are looking for a leader who cares. They're looking for leadership that will step in and problem solve. And it seems that there's an absence of that in places within our state. And honestly, I could not have done this campaign were it not for the support of a whole company of people. I need to say thank you to my campaign team. Certainly thank you to all my friends who have stepped up in ways unimaginable to support me, through all my volunteers, and most importantly to my family, my husband and my children, who inspire me on a daily basis to be a better person. Thank you.
I love Stephanie's slogan, fighting like a mom. I can totally relate to it. And I also understand as soon as you start talking about those babies, it's like you realize that this is what it's all about. It's all about them and the future. Our next friend is Billy Peard, and Billy's running for Legislative District 2. And let's hear from him.
Hi, I'm Billy Peard. I'm a Democrat running for the State House this year in Legislative District 2. And I'm coming to you this morning from Nogales, Arizona on Election Day as we make our final push here in Santa Cruz County and await the outcome in a few hours. And I wanted to take a few moments to reflect on why I chose to run in the first place. Like so many other candidates this year locally, I chose to run prior to COVID-19, before our nation and our world knew what 2020 had in store for all of us. And before COVID-19, Arizona ranked 50th or near 50th on so many indicators of social well-being, whether that be education funding or labor rights, the list goes on and on. and we continue to be near back of the pack on all of these indicators. And yet now, since March, that realization seems even more sensitive and puts Arizona in a more vulnerable spot than we ever knew possible. That was the reason I chose to run before, and it continues to motivate me to make this final push today on Election Day, to make sure that we have Democrats in the State House who are prepared to make bold proposals, to craft and draft and negotiate and compromise bold solutions to intergenerational challenges. No longer is it enough to simply go up to the state capitol, in my view, and cast your vote and come home. You have to do bold things that are not perhaps always popular and not popular among the corporate interests. I want to also take this moment to give thanks and gratitude to so many. I'd like to thank my parents who have supported me for my whole life, but especially these past several months, with encouragement and so much more. I'd like to thank Luis Parra, who I've known for many years, but in recent months we've gotten to know each other much more and have developed a close friendship as he and I have both embarked as first-time candidates on the campaign trail, and the virtual campaign trail at that. And we've learned and struggled and taught and learned from one another. So thank you, Luis. I want to thank Congressman Grijalva, who reached out and lent his support, more than anything, his encouragement and his words of advice over the past several months, both to myself and to Luis and to so many other local candidates who he believes in. We're all thinking of you in this particular moment during these last several days, and we look forward to seeing you healthy back here in Tucson and Southern Arizona in the near future. I want to thank my campaign manager, Adrian Dahlin, who's come along with me on this great adventure for the past 5-6 months. I couldn't have done it without you. I want to thank Maria, who's given me so much encouragement and support also during that time frame. And lastly, I want to thank our amazing team, who has accomplished so much more than I ever thought possible when I embarked on this journey. With more than 55 folks who've contributed their time to distributing literature at the doors, we've accomplished more than 15,000 no-contact lit drops in the last 2 months. And we have somehow, I still don't quite know how this is possible, accomplished 10,000 phone calls in the last less than 2 months. So I want to thank this amazing team of folks, both close and near, both far and near, who have contributed to this campaign. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Billy, for running. And we are going to continue moving on with tonight's program because we are just probably minutes, within 10, 15 minutes away of getting election results, Adelita.
I know, it's exciting.
I keep pressing the refresh button during the videos, and I this is the exciting part because it's truly where all of our work comes together. Next up, we're hearing from a gentleman who reported on so many stories throughout Southern Arizona for so long with the Arizona Daily Star. He decided to world and was appointed earlier this year to be a Pima County constable. And I'm talking about none other than Democratic candidate Joe Ferguson. We're going to be hearing from Joe now.
Hi, it's Constable Joe Ferguson. Just wanted to take a minute to say thank you sincerely to everybody who has supported me throughout the campaign. I have been humbled by the amount of people who have really gotten behind our message of trying to help families and keep them in their homes by changing the constable's office. This is why I threw my hat in the ring so many months ago, was for this purpose alone. We had no idea that there would be a global pandemic. We had no idea about all the things that have happened in 2020 when I put my name in to be considered for the appointment. I'm proud of what we've done, and I'm proud of all the support the community has for these programs, which really boil down to being more compassionate, empathetic, and doing what we can inside the system to really keep people in their homes. We've had a lot of great successes, and I know that with 4 more years, we will really move the needle when it comes to evictions and how we handle other things in the council's office, including orders of protection. Thank you to everybody who's supported me along the way. It means the world to me. Appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Joe. He's just been such a great person to get to know better and to work with. So giving of his time.
We know each other last night at 12:30, putting out signs at the polling stations. It was like, hello, friend.
Of course he was. Of course he was. And the next candidate that we have all been working with and supporting is Luis Parra, candidate for Legislative District 2, House of Representatives.
Hello, Southern Arizona. I'm Luis Parra. I'm your candidate, your Democratic candidate for the Arizona State House of Representatives, Legislative District 2. I decided to run 4 months ago because I really felt that I could be a more insightful, a more judicious voice at the state legislature. And I'm really passionate about public education. I'm really passionate about early childhood education. I've been a business owner for 12 years now, and I believe my skill set can be used to bring a more experienced voice to the state legislature. It's been a very eventful 4 months. I've had a lot of help from volunteers, from college students, from my family. I want to thank Sassy, my wife, and my 2 children, Alana and Cristabella. They have been great, and they've been lockstep with me throughout this whole process. I want to thank Congressman Grijalva for his endorsement. I want to thank Mayor Regina Romero for her endorsement. And I really want to thank Billy Peard for all the support and for being able to work with him throughout this campaign in bouncing ideas off of each other and understanding what he would bring to the table and what I would bring to the table as if elected as state representatives. I think that whatever happens, COVID-19 is going to be a very tough thing to bounce back from. But together, I believe that everything will work itself out, and I'm really hopeful that Democrats take over the House. Again, I want to thank everyone who supported me throughout this process. I'll close with this. I want Southern Arizona to know that you're going to have a judicious, a very strong-willed and resolute voice at the State House of Representatives. I believe I won this evening, and so I'm really grateful for all the support. Have a nice evening, and God bless the state of Arizona. God bless the United States of America. Thank you, everyone.
Don't you feel
Thank
like
you.
you're on news, Adelita?
I do. I also feel like, we're just hosts and we have all this stuff really organized, and we really honestly couldn't have done it without you, Andres, pushing the fact that we needed to have something for all of us to do together, but also for the man behind this screen, Manuel Riz. Manuel, poke out. Say hi.
That's our director.
Hi. There he is.
Hello, everybody.
We called him last night at 8 p.m. and said, can you please do this for us? It's good to see you, Manny.
It is so good. And thank you for your help, because we couldn't do it without you, really.
No.
I'm always here for you guys because you guys are here for us. So
Oh, thank you.
appreciate
Manny.
everything you guys
Thanks.
do, and looking forward to tonight's results and very excited for you both. Thank you for everything.
You. Thank
So
you.
for all of you watching at home, I'm Andres Cano with my friend Adelita Grijalva. We are anxiously awaiting election results that are going to be coming in any minute now. We will continue streaming live, but we are going to take a quick break right now to show you a little bit of the grassroots support that we had throughout this journey. I want to thank Elvira, our campaign manager, for absolutely moving forward with demonstrating and showcasing those who gave their hearts and souls to this campaign. We'll be right back as results come in. Stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching.
Stay with us. Stay with us, and thank you so much for being here.
Stay with us.
Buenas noches.
Sorry, I think I'm on now. Hey, everybody, this is Andres. It is about 8:28. We are constantly pressing the refresh button on those results for Pima County. We're seeing some results throughout the state, but not quite yet here in Pima County. We just want you to stay tuned. We hope you are enjoying tonight's live stream. In normal circumstances, we would be there celebrating with you, but we're going to continue paying attention to these results, and we'll be right back with some election results. It's an exciting night, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, congratulations.
Andres, congratulations. I'm so very happy
Man.
that you're going to be representing us at the state. I really am.
And you, as our county supervisor, Richard would be so proud of the progress that we made tonight. And this was not an easy campaign, Adelita. And so I want to say thank you for letting me be here with you throughout this journey, throughout this process. I'm going to take this moment really quick to let folks know that we are coming out victorious in this election, and it's because of each and every single one of you who contributed, who came into our headquarters and did the unusual contactless lit drop in the middle of the pandemic. Gosh, we really worked super hard on the.
We did, and we have the candidates that we talked about earlier today. We have some really amazing news about Laura Conover. And I'm so excited for that direction in our county attorney's office. Gabriela Casares Kelly is victorious, and that is just amazing to be the first woman, native person, I believe, to be elected in Pima County, like the county-wide. I think that's amazing, and what it shows to me is the turnout. When we were like, oh my gosh, this turnout is so huge, it's like record-breaking. What it was is, I think, people that really wanted to see change happen. And they have elected people that are going to do just that. And so I'm very, very happy. Stephanie Hamilton is going on to the general. So, I still have another general race. And so I do want to take an opportunity to say how appreciative I am that our voters had a choice. There were a couple races in our race on our ballot that didn't have another candidate there. And so for Ms. Hernandez, we had some very different ideas of what a move in Pima County would look like. But I do want to say that I think both conducted ourselves. We didn't mudsling or do anything ugly. Some of the other races got a little uglier. And so I am appreciative that our voters had a choice. And so I'm very thankful that that voters have elected me to move on to the general. And I just wanted to say thank you so much to so many people who have just been so instrumental in helping us redefine what a campaign looks like in a pandemic. So we leaned a lot on social media. We leaned a lot on people, continue to figure out a way, like, how do we use this people power that we have? And so many people came up and stepped up, did phone calls from their couches and, wrote handwritten notes. And it just has really been very inspiring. And I think that we're going to have to write some sort of, memoir about what this experience was like, because I think for every one of us, there was something.
And I think ultimately, look, our voters absolutely see right through it. And I think for me, I'm looking forward to working with my seatmate in the legislature next year, the 55th legislature. We have to be able to put the issues at the forefront. We have to focus on education and restoring funding to our public schools, our teachers, and our kids. We have to provide healthcare to every Arizonan and help lift up Arizonans throughout this pandemic, Adelita. And so I'm super grateful to all of the District 3 and the District 5 voters who believed in our vision for a stronger Arizona, for a stronger Pima County. And you're absolutely right. It was the volunteers that carried us forward, carried us through. I also want to congratulate the other candidates in this race. And look, running for office is not an easy thing. It is very, very difficult. And so to all of those who are not victorious tonight, this is part of the democratic process. Thank you for running. Thank you for lending yourselves and your families and your existence to public service, because regardless of the outcome on election nights, ultimately what we are able to do after these elections is come together. And you know who we haven't talked about in this entire conversation, Adelita? Can we please elect Mark Kelly to the U.S. Senate and get Donald Trump out of the White House?
That would be amazing. I think we still have a lot of work to do. And so this is just the primary. We move on to the general. The general has so much at stake, not only for Pima County and Arizona, but for our nation. And so I hope that all of these people who have been engaged and ready to usher in these candidates to the general continue to stay with us so we can really make a difference, because I do feel the turnout in our area is going to raise some, perk up some ears, maybe perhaps at the state and federal for, the Democratic Party, and get some attention to us, because I think that we deserve to have the resources that we need in order to do the best job that we can to get turnout up high.
Yeah, no, and we have to do it. And, that headquarters that is always so bustling, the Grijalva headquarters throughout this time, there's still going to be a way to help out folks. This primary election was just the beginning. The November election is just around the corner, and we now shift all of our focus into ensuring that we get another second Democratic U.S. Senator from the state of Arizona, and that we ultimately elect Joe Biden to the presidency.
Be our president.
You know what I've always wanted to do, Adelita, as we say goodbye to folks? Kelly Ripa did it in one of her Good Morning America shows. I think, what does she host again? I forget what she hosts, but she always would say, Alexa, 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 so that everybody's Alexas can go on at their house if they have it. So I just wanted to do that.
I would like to close with saying, again, how appreciative we are of everyone that came and volunteered. And I think it would be appropriate to end this live portion by saying, resist much love.
Resist much love. And, he's with us. He's with us. So
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We are going to continue posting some results throughout this live feed tonight, but this is the end of it, and it's been a long journey to getting here. Thank you, Adelita, for letting me share.
Thank you, Andres, and thank you to everyone who shared their time with us. And we're going to take probably a breather of maybe a day or two, and then we'll start calling to get ready for the general.
Let's do it. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Adelita.
Thank you. Thank you.